dentists, doctors, assisted livings, they all have people coming in on a daily basis, new, different people coming in on a daily basis to see the service. How often do you see the doctor? Maybe every 6 months? So there's always people coming in. How often do you see the dentist? Once a year? 6 months? Assisted living, how often do you move into assisted living? Once? So if you make friends with an assisted living, they hold 100 people, and that assisted living is giving you 1 or 2 a week, 4 to 5 to 10 a month, one building. That's really good. So you get a doctor or a dentist giving you 1 or 2 a week, 5 to 10 a month. If you can find referral sources that are feeding you, because you go in there and stop in every week, then how many referral sources do you need to hit that 300 cases a year mark, 100,000 a year? Right? So how many is that? You only need 333 divided by 12, 28.
23.
What's 330? Well, 300 is 90,000 a year. So what's 300 divided by 12? Quick math.
300 divided by 12?
What's 100 divided by 12? So 25 a month, that's 1 a day roughly. That's 5 a week. That's 25 a month, that's 300 a year. That's $90,000 a year every year. All you have to do is stop in and say hi to these places. Now, on the same side, you're talking on the assisted side, you're talking to the providers or your clients, and you're letting them know what you do. You do pre-arrangements. In the assisted living world, they're supposed to have that in place when they move into an assisted living. So we have a default form that we give out to assisted living homes. Hey, if people haven't, put this in your onboarding packet.
If somebody's already in assisted living, are we able to sell them a better plan if they're already there, or would they have to?
You can.
I've never.
Well, you find out, you get their information, you put it in Spark, you figure out their income, when they moved in, and what plan they are, their doctors, and their drugs. Mm-hmm. And then you circle back and we'll sit down and find a special election period that's still available to them during the year for living in assisted living. So don't ever say no, just say, yes, let me look into that. So moving into an assisted living, we have this default form, right? So you put in their onboarding. If they have a funeral in place, write it in so you have it in your onboarding packet for each person. Everybody has a book in assisted living, has a binder of all their information. Mm-hmm. So if they don't, then Red Mountain Funeral Home would become the default funeral home. So that's what we give out. So at that point, as another arrow in their quiver, if they don't have their funeral information picked out, we can set that up ahead of time now, pay for it, and get it out of the way. So now you can get a pre-need done, probably a one-time cremation or whatever, but if you roll into the pre-need talk to the adult children that are putting them in, so there's probably a husband and wife right there, right? Or maybe some other siblings, right? You help them, their parents with their Medicare, make sure they're covered for their assisted living so they don't need to come back to you for anything. For them, their kids, and then you help them with their pre-need. Now you're talking to the adult children about pre-need. So you can talk to them about their pre-need too, because they probably don't have anything in place, right?
Yeah, of course.
So now you have leads. Now you have leads and people are generally 20 years less than their parents in age. Okay. So they're moving in assisted living late 70s, 80s, 50s, 60s.
Which is our target?
Which is our target for everything.
Yeah. Right?
Turning 65, you get $600 commission going on Advantage the first time, $300 residual. Pre-need insurance in their 50s and 60s is a higher commission. They can spread it over 3 or 5 years. Single pay is half the commission of a multi-pay. So just remember that. If you want 20% or higher, you got to do 3, 5, or 10 years. Single pay is half of that of the multi-pay, so it's like 10% based on age. So always go 3 years minimum. Try to get them to do the 3 years minimum. So we have that, and then we have long-term care insurance that we're going to learn about. Hey, your parents are going to have to pay for assisted living. Are you paying for it? Who's paying for the assisted living? Are they paying for it? Do you have long-term care insurance? Do they have long-term care? No or yes? Do you? Well, let's get some on you. So you can do some financial planning at this point with the younger generation. But we get the lead when they move into the assisted living. Now we can do other things. Now, if they get into assisted living and they need help and they run out of money, let them know. Like, hey, if they're running low on money, let us know and we can work on the state Medicaid plan down the line. That's another thing we can work. But just in general, doing the marketing every week and getting those referrals from referral sources